Hello everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to a new episode of Arduino EDUvision Season 4, Episode 5.
We're halfway.
Yep. I'm Melissa, and with me I have
Roxana from Arduino Education.
Exactly. And as you can see, we're live from YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Crowdcast. And if you're watching this from YouTube, hit the thumbs up.
Always.
Facebook,
The heart, and the LinkedIn. It's like the bulb, light bulb.
Yeah, we can even have a competition, so we can see which platform gets most reactions. So
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep.
Start reacting.
Exactly. But also use the chat on any of these platforms. Use the chat and tell us, how are you?
Yes.
Say hi, where are you from?
From where you are joining. We always want to see from where you are joining.
Exactly.
And we can put some comments there.
Yeah, I can see already people joining.
Cool.
There's some.
Oh, from Colombia. That's nice. From
Yes.
Ecuador.
Nice.
Oh, many people from Latin America. That's nice. So keep saying from where you're joining and what you do. So say hi on the chat.
Exactly.
So today we will talk about space, as this week we celebrate World Space Week. We will also show a project that demonstrates how to access and retrieve information from celestial bodies, so stay tuned.
Yes, but before we rocket into space, let's say thank you to all the teachers out there. This Tuesday, the 5th of October, we celebrated World Teachers' Day. And with EDUvision, we also hope to inspire teachers by bringing interesting guest educators and sharing some tutorials, for example.
Exactly. And we want to help teachers from all over the world in this very important work they do and provide resources that are useful, no matter if they are teaching remotely or in class.
Exactly. And some of these resources you can find from our education site. So for example, arduino.cc/education, you can find here the solutions for different age groups. We have the certification, remote learning, and of course, EDUvision site. And from the EDUvision site, you can find tutorials, articles, previous EDUvision seasons. You can share your project.
Exactly. Talking about project, Gucci is saying, Mosquera, that he would like to share his project. So stay tuned to learn how you can do that.
Definitely. Yeah, you should definitely share it with us.
Yeah. So, what about if we start with today's topic, right?
Yeah.
So, World Space Week is the largest annual space event in the world, observed from October 4 to 10 in over 95 nations throughout the world.
Yeah, and this week helps build up the workforce of tomorrow by inspiring students, educates the public about space activities, and fosters international cooperation in space outreach and education.
Exactly. And last year in 2020, the theme for World Space Week was Satellites Improve Life. And this year we celebrate women in space. So if you want to learn more about this, you can go to workspaceweek.org/ and read all about this day.
Yeah, and we have something fun for you guys related to space. We have a live poll.
Yes.
Space poll with a couple of questions. So
Exactly.
Take your phone or computer and go to menti.com.
Yes. And then when you go there, you need to write a code. So you can do it, as Melissa mentioned, on your phone or on your computer. So let me share my screen so you can see. So there is a code, say 68021943.
And we're gonna present the poll now, and then later on we're gonna look at the results. So you have time, even
Exactly.
if you're still looking for your phone. No worries, you have
Yes.
some time
So
to also participate.
just keep with that, and
yes,
people
we
are
have
already
already
voting.
we have already won.
So if you would pack only one thing for your trip to outer space, what would it be? So a portable workout, because you know at space you need to exercise because of the zero gravity. Mars chocolate bars, you know,
Because
always
Mars.
chocolate,
Yep,
exactly,
yep.
and Mars. And also stink-free shorts. So you don't have time to clean your clothes in space. So what about these shorts that are antibacterial? So you don't worry about changing your clothes.
So what do you think? Or if you have something else that would be even better, you can use the chat to tell us.
Exactly. So keep voting. You have time to vote. Exactly. So we have Mars chocolate bars. Ooh, you like chocolate. So that's
Nice,
good.
nice. Me too. I like chocolate.
Yeah. So just keep voting. And
We have another question
yes.
too.
So the other question is, which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars? Oh my God, Star Wars.
Yes. Agree.
Me too.
I'm Team Star Wars.
Yeah. So that's cool. Just keep voting. You have time. We're going to share the results after our interview. So you have like around 5-10 minutes to keep voting. So keep doing that, and then we share with you the results.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can continue voting. But this week we had a great conversation about CubeSats in education with two guests, Matt Scott, Secondary STEM Coordinator, and Andrew O'Brien, STEM Curriculum Advisor from New South Wales Department of Education in Australia.
That's right. They also told us about a very interesting teaching STEM project called ProtoSat.
If you want to hear everything about their work, you can always listen to the podcast that we released this week. But let's see an interview, a clip with them where they talk about this ProtoSat project. So let's welcome Matt and Andrew.
So what do we want students to do? We want students to take a microcontroller with some sensors, design some code to sample some weather and store it somewhere. Then we want them to design and build a CubeSat rack that will hold that equipment and that will withstand the challenges of going into space. The thermal challenges, the vibration challenges, the shock challenges. So we want them to design some experiments to prove that their CubeSat's flight ready. And we also want them to gather some local data. And so we can look at that data, we can organize that data, and then we can tell the story that the data is telling us as well too. That's a little bit of a nutshell of what the CubeSat program is.
We found the right level of abstraction to parallel our process with what would happen in industry, with what would happen in space industry. So we don't have it exactly like they do it, but students will get a very good understanding of the process and the thinking for what they need to do. And I suppose it's developing the skills of thinking to solve problems which are very much in line with what space science has to deal with.
Online, we found a document that NASA's produced, which is basically CubeSats 101. And it literally gives you a guide on how to go from start to finish with a CubeSat. And I think it's sort of designed for, university teams as well as whether it's a startup or an organization that do want to launch CubeSats. So Andrew mentioned before where we get together and we thrash out our ideas and our intentions and how we want to go from A to B. We looked at this document and go, what are the really cool things that are in here that we could do with some students? And then, I reflected on my experience. What do I know kids like doing? I know boys like breaking stuff. How can we implement breaking stuff experiences into this? The exciting bit was that we mapped out some of these ideas. And, we traveled down to UNSW, Canberra Space, and checked out their facilities. And we spoke with their technicians and their engineers working on the university's CubeSats that they do launch. And, we've looked at the things that they do and the testing they do. And we said, well, here's our plan. This is what we want to do with students. How far off the mark are we? And interestingly,
they said it's a thing.
Yeah, they said, oh, that's actually a thing. Oh yeah, no, we have to do that. You know, we have to
They can
heat our
make-
system up to this temperature and run it for a while to see if it works
Yeah.
under extreme heat and then cold. So, you know, you guys could do that too. Yeah, just get an esky and put some ice bricks in it and see how long it'll run at a lower temperature. Or
Shake it around.
don't tell mum, but sneak into the kitchen and put it into the oven on low.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, they were as enthusiastic with the suggestions as what we were, which was a really exciting space to be in, and to see that there's an absolute correlation between the experiences that we're providing for the students through this unit of work and what they would do if they attended UNSW Canberra, you know, as an aeronautical engineer or an electronics engineer or whoever it might be working on those processes. While the level of tech might be different, the process and the experience is very much parallel.
Yeah, they would be already familiar with the design process and prototyping. Yeah.
And it gets back to the sorry, Andrew, I was just going to say it gets back to the decadal plan that the Australian Space Agency's got, and it's about enriching and engaging students in space careers. Well, I think we've done a pretty good job of that based on access to what we've got around us. And a key part of us going with the Arduino for our sample unit was that previously coding and digital technology outcomes like networking, communications and coding, they were implemented in New South Wales for the first time as a mandatory part of the course in technology for all year 7 and 8 students, so for 13, 14-year-olds. And so through a previous iteration of professional learning, lots of schools had Arduino kits in their school for students to use. And we probably should have mentioned this at the start, but we'd had many conversations with teachers going, I've done that program that, was done with the Arduinos early on. The kids aren't quite into it. We're looking for something else to do, and I'm sort of thinking space, CubeSats. Oh, there's a heap of Arduinos lying around in schools. The cost will be quite low to do something like this.
I was just thinking, when we got them to do we call it the shake and bake stage of the project, we don't actually tell the students in that phase. It's a 2-week block of the whole unit where they've got to choose an investigation. They've got to design the investigation. They've got to work out how they can test for, and we get the teachers that they have prompts to, whether it's going to be thermal or whether it's going to be vibration. It's the idea of linking, well, what's going to happen to a CubeSat on its, launch and the operating conditions that it's going to be, environmental conditions. And sort of, okay, well, how can we test that the thing's going to work if we were to actually send it up into low Earth orbit? So it's about them trying to work out ways that they can actually come up with some sort of investigation, make a rig that might shake the thing until it falls apart, or find out at what point does their CubeSat rig actually fall apart, or does it?
How long does it have to shake for based on the duration of a launch?
Yeah, and does it sit within the threshold that we need it to sit within? It needs to be able to last this long. Can you design something that will actually do it? And if it fails the first time, go back and relook at your design and rejig it and try again. That's why there's a nice 2-week block there where they can do those investigations and then come up, present their findings. So another opportunity for them to share what they've learned, and as I said, it doesn't have to. They could do thermal, they could do vibration. I think whether there were some others, but they're the main two. It depends, because you're thinking most students.
There was the shock test too.
Shock to impact.
Yes.
But
throw it off the balcony and see if it survives.
It's not. He keeps mentioning throwing off the balcony. Don't throw it off the balcony. It's an Arduino. You look after it.
Now they're all gonna do it.
Yeah, like people do crazy stuff with the Arduino. So
They
throwing
do.
like from the balcony, I think it's going to be safe.
We didn't spell out how to do the shake and bake tests. We deliberately left it that, you know, you could look up, we gave maybe a link or two to, you know, how they might do it at university or at,
Or they might make a
But-
shake table.
yeah, make a shake table. But this guy came up, he's going, and out of the blue, he just thought, oh, I'll rig up something where I got the stack of the CubeSats in this little wooden box.
Yeah.
And I'll just take it up and down the stairs, bang, 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 bang. and what he was hoping to do, which he hasn't been able to, I don't think, because he hasn't had students, was to put an accelerometer onto an Arduino and have it record the bump as it goes up and down the stairs. So just another aspect of data collection that we weren't really expecting. So it's ideas like that we're waiting to see come back.
So we actually worked with a small startup in Australia who had a contract with the Defence Force called Thunderstruck Space, and they were doing work with high altitude balloons. So one of the early ideations of our system and some of the thinking behind the investigations we've suggested that students run to prove that it's flight ready can demonstrate that their prototype is flight ready for a high altitude balloon. So things like the choice of battery that could be used to power the system, decisions around writing to an SD card rather than using a short Wi-Fi or Bluetooth link or something like that. We've tried to create it such that a school could go out and find the local university that does high altitude weather balloon research and actually put one of their devices on there and send it to 30 kilometers high and get real atmospheric data research. And, you know, we're really hoping that the trial that we're currently running with schools, we're hoping that we can work with some of our partners to give, maybe to run a small competition, you know, where either the best design or the best engineering report, we can actually send theirs up to 30, 35 kilometers high, get some real data, but then also in turn share that data as sample data sets with schools that run the unit of work. If they want to start playing around with some data that's different to what they've gathered in their school. You know, what is the temperature like at 35 kilometers up? How does that compare to my schoolyard that's at 280 meters above sea level?
Yeah, you have really the chance to prototype yourself too during this project. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure. This is a very exciting project. Is there anywhere that our audience can learn more about ProtoSat?
Great question. So our sample unit of work went live on our department's website this week. So we've got the teacher unit of work program resource. So if someone was interested, they could go there and download the document. It's a public-facing website, and they could actually look through to see what our suggested learning activities are from start to finish. So it's a 10-week unit of work. Normally, it would be taught across, say, 3-ish 1-hour lessons a week for 10 weeks. So we've got about 30 opportunities to work with the students on this from start to finish. So it's it can be pretty rushed, but at this stage, we've definitely got our first version published for people to check out if they're interested.
Thank you for today. We're going to add the link to your website to the article that you can find from our EDUvision site. So everyone who's interested, go there and check the link and check all the resources.
Yeah, super useful. Thank you so much for your time and for joining and for sharing what you were doing. It's awesome. It's super exciting.
Yeah, we're excited too. Thanks, Melissa and Roxana, for the chance to have a chat with you today and talk about something that we're both very passionate about.
Yeah, we can see that.
It's awesome. Thank you so much.
Hello. It was really nice to hear from Matt and Andrew and the ProtoSat project. And if you want to learn more about how you can maintain further your students' or children enthusiasm when it comes to lessons about space, you can take a look at the article on our website. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. How to inspire and engage students learning about space. So that one.
Here we can find the article.
Mm-hmm.
So from the bottom.
Yeah.
Also the article where you can find the link to the STEAM program.
Exactly. So it was a very interesting interview. So you can listen to the full interview with Matt and Andrew on our EDUvision podcast too. And we can also listen to a short clip for that podcast.
But with micronization and technology becoming smaller, that's given us things like the Arduino boards that we can use as the microcontrollers in our classroom. Text becomes smaller, so all of a sudden we can make a functional satellite a lot smaller.
Nice. But I think now it's time to check some results from Menti.
Of course.
So you had
Let's
you had
go.
10 minutes to vote,
Let's see what
participate
happened.
in the live poll. You can still do it if you want to.
Yeah, so Mars chocolate bars was
Okay.
the thing that you will pack or take with you to the trip to outer space.
Yeah, remember to take more than one.
Exactly. I think that's a very good option.
Yeah.
And then for the second question about which one is better, Star Wars.
Yep.
But 80% and 20% for
That's
Star Trek. Yeah.
pretty clear.
That's massive.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining the poll.
Yeah. And you can still share in the chat if you have some better ideas what you would like to take with you to space.
For sure.
Yeah. If you don't want to eat Mars, what else would you like to eat there?
Exactly. Now that trips to the space are coming a real thing, so it's good to know what thing would you pack with you.
We saw some comments from the audience that you have also created your own test and you have your own Arduino projects that you always test and do these similar tests that Matt and Andrew talked about. But you should actually share those projects with us on our EDUvision site.
Yeah, it's very easy. There is the link where you can submit your project. So we really are hoping to see what are you building with Arduino. So please share. So your project could be here next week on EDUvision.
Exactly. So every week we hope to present one of the projects that you guys have shared on our EDUvision site. And also, if you get your project featured in EDUvision, you're going to get some Arduino Education goodies.
Yeah, really cool goodies. So don't hesitate and apply or submit your project.
Exactly. But today we won't have an audience project, but we have a project, or Anton has a project.
Yeah.
So let's bring in Anton.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Nice. Everything good. It's always exciting talking about space.
Exactly.
So
And,
tell us, what did you prepare for today?
I'm going to show you a really cool project. It's part of the OPLA platform.
Nice.
And this project utilizes the Maker IoT carrier and the Arduino Maker Wi-Fi 1010. And the Arduino then connects to the internet and makes a request to a server and an API call. So we can check that out. It's this website, which contains a lot of data about the solar system. And we then use this API to fetch data about different celestial bodies. So you can see there we have all the stars in one request, and we can use this in our code then to use in a project. So we can take a look on how it looks like. Yeah. So here we
Yes.
There we go. There we go. So if I press this button here, it says searching. So it's searching for a potential celestial body here. Let's see what we get. Oh, update complete. Data from Titan. So let's see what else we can get from this. Titan is a moon of Saturn. That's cool. And then it was discovered by Christian Huygens. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but and then we can check some other stuff here. So we have gravity and inclination. And what's cool about this is that you can press one more time and we will get another planet or moon. Let's see. There we go.
Nice.
Callisto. and it's a moon of Jupiter. So you can kind of do this and get really cool data from lots of different planets and their moons. Pretty cool.
Actually, it is.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, so thank you for showing.
Thank you, guys.
And so you can try, it's very easy to start with IoT. Remember that Arduino has an IoT cloud, so you can start working on this kind of project.
Yeah,
so
and if you want to know more about this project, we have actually a tutorial, and I think we're going to show it, link it in the chat. So if you're interested in this project, take a look. And if you're pretty good at coding, you don't really need the carrier. You can probably just print all of that data to the console if you're a bit handy with code. But yeah, try it out. It's really cool.
It is. Anna Magnusson also thinks that. Thank
Nice.
you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
It's a really cool project. So thank you so much, Anton.
Thank you, guys.
And see you next week.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
So very cool. So this week for the World Space Week, we have a discount code for the Arduino Engineering Kit Rev2.
Yes, 15% until the end of this week, Sunday, the 10th of October. We have a discount on the engineering kit, and you can find the discount when you go to our digital store.
Exactly. So what about if we see a little bit more about what the engineering kit is?
Yes, we have a short video where a student is using the kit, but the Arduino Engineering Kit Rev2 provides extensive learning outcomes, giving students a strong understanding of basic engineering concepts through fun projects that create a collaborative learning environment. And students are able to connect what they learn with real-world industries. They're encouraged to think critically and improve their depth of knowledge by learning through experimentation. This kit includes 3 projects, and one of them is a webcam-controlled rover that resembles a rover that we have seen moving on top of Mars, for example.
Wow. So you can see on the video the kit comes with all the assembly parts to build these 3 projects and all the instructions, of course, and a learning platform. So you can follow the step-by-step.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And in the video, we had the rover. So
Exactly.
this one is now 15% discount on sale until the end of this week. So get yours if you want to get started
Exactly.
with space activities.
That's true. And another Arduino Education tool is the Science Journal app. We also mentioned that last week, right? And thanks to you guys, the app now has more than 1 million users. So let's take a look at a short clip for last season when we try out different activities that you can do with the app. So let's take a look.
Let's go.
Star.
It was fairly flat. I think it was just like
Nice,
the beginning and the
yeah.
end.
You're getting more still and still. Like.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
So on our science journal, I'm going to find my pulse again. You need to do at least 20 seconds and you can get some nice beeps. Times that by 3 and you will get your heartbeat per minute,
Okay.
which is your heart rate.
So if you missed those episodes last season, you can find them from our YouTube or from the EDUvision site and see how to do your own dance with the Science Journal
Yeah.
app or how to monitor your heart.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. And then later this season, we're going to have more guests to talk about the Science Journal app and what they've done with the app.
Exactly. So if you don't have yours yet, you can go to the App Store and also to the Play Store and download it to your phone. It's available for iOS and Android, and it's free.
Yes. So get it now so you're ready for the episode when we talk about Science Journal app and you can participate in our activity.
Exactly. So that's it for this episode.
Yes, that's it for today. So next Thursday, October 14th at 5 p.m. Central European Summer Time, we will discuss machine learning and AI with our guest Pete Warden.
Yeah, so he's the technical lead of the TensorFlow micro team at Google. And we will also talk about failure, how it is crucial for growth and how to do it right, how to fail right.
Yeah, and the podcast with Pete is going to be published the next week before the live event, so you can go and listen what is the biggest failure from Pete's side. It was
Exactly.
pretty funny. I didn't know.
Yeah, it is really good, so don't miss that out. And thank you so much for joining today. See you all next week.
See you. Bye.
Adios.